Hello, everyone. This is Ace, and welcome to my premiere episode of Ace's Media Mayhem. Today, we are going back to 1991 when the U.S. began Operation Desert Storm. Michael Jackson signs a $65 million 6 album deal with Sony Records. And theaters across America share the story of a young boy, an owl, and a singing rooster. This was Rockadoodle. Rockadoodle is the fifth theatrical release of Don Bluth, a former Disney animator turned film director, video game designer, and producer. Rockadoodle is an animated film featuring a singing rooster by the name of Chanticleer. His job on the farm was to make the sun rise up every morning by singing to it. However, the Grand Duke of Owls, who hates the sun, no surprise there, makes Chanticleer look like a fraud and forces him to leave the farm. When he leaves, the farm is put under a spell of perpetual darkness and rain. We're then introduced to Edmund, a young boy in the human world who also lives on a farm, and whose favorite book is all about Chanticleer. As Edmund's farm comes under a huge rainstorm and starts to flood, he calls out to Chanticleer for help. However, instead of the Elvis singing rooster, he gets the Grand Duke of Owl instead, who isn't very happy about having him call Chanticleer. So, as a punishment, he transforms Edmund into a cat. Yes, a cat. Before being taken by the owl, Edmund is rescued by Chanticleer's friends Patou the dog, Snipes the magpie, and Peepers the mouse. He joins them on a quest to find Chanticleer in the city, bring him home, and raise the sun. Yeah, he looks like country Elvis, doesn't he? The movie stars some well-known voice talents, such as Christopher Plummer as the Grand Duke of Owls, Eddie Deason as Snipes, Phil Harris in his final acting role before retiring as Patou, Charles Nelson Riley as the Grand Duke's very small, somewhat psychopathic nephew, Hunch. Sandy Duncan provided the voice of the spunking mouse, Peepers. Alan Green provided the voice of the chick singer, Goldie. And the voice of Chanticleer was provided by American guitarist, singer, and songwriter Glenn Campbell. Now, the story of Rockadoodle is loosely based on Edmond Rostand's 1910 comedy play Chanticleer. Originally, there were plans by Walt Disney Studios to combine elements of the story of the play with an anthropomorphic fox named Renard. Mark Davis, one of the Disney legends, did some character designs for this. Unfortunately, all the plans were rejected by Walt. Later on, Don Bluth decided to do an animated film based on this and started production of it in 1982. The film went through a period of development limbo in 1985 due to the successful release of Who Framed Roger Rabbit. As a result of the successful release, Rockadoodle changed from a full animated film to a live-action animated film. The character Goldie was originally designed to have similar attributes to Jessica Rabbit. However, test screenings required changes in her design.
But I'm too good for the chorus. What's he got that I ain't got?
A voice!
When it comes to the rating of this film, we have to account for the time period this film was made in comparison to today. Overall, out of all of Don Bluth's films, this one has aged a little for the worst than others. The animation is well done, though, and the use of certain colors and lighting helps set the tone for each of the scenes. The voice actors really brought life to the characters, and the songs are catchy for the film, giving it an Elvis rock and roll feel to it.
Let me be your rooster, and let me roost with you.
One of the negatives going up against Rockadoodle in regards to grading the film is its storytelling. As I mentioned before, Rockadoodle had to change its storyline due to the success of Disney's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. However, in regards to Rockadoodle, considering the technology at the time, it makes very poor use of the live action incorporated into animation and vice versa throughout the film. In addition, it doesn't use it in very many sequences. The story is also a little bit weak, in my personal opinion. I could not fully wrap my mind around why we had the inclusion of Edmund and his family. There's a lot of different ways that the writers of Rockadoodle could have gone in regards to the story of Chanticleer. Instead of having the story be based in the real world and Chanticleer's world, it could have just been solely in Chanticleer's world and added a few new obstacles for the heroes to overcome before they're able to bring Chanticleer back to the farm. It doesn't have a lot going forward except for star power and music. However, Rockadoodle is a Don Bluth film and one worth watching. Whether or not you may want to own it is up to you. I myself am a fan of Don Bluth's work and I own it on a DVD. So, on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, I'm going to give this film a 3 out of 5. Hey, thanks so much for watching my premiere episode of Ace's Media Mayhem. Make sure you hit the subscribe button at the bottom to enjoy upcoming reviews of the media. See you real soon.